Well, guys, this all went horribly wrong. I couldn't get the battery to charge from the controller, so I took the connector lead from the controller and wired it up directly to an external charger, plugged that into the socket down there, and it still didn't charge. So I changed the LiPo battery in there, and it still didn't charge. Charged the battery separately and connected it up, and it didn't work anyway. I couldn't link to it, couldn't bind to it. So I think something's happened to the receiver board. Maybe a wire's dropped off. There's lots of very small wires on there. Definitely one or two had fallen off, but I think they were the ones that went to the motors, so it still ought to have fired up even without them. So even when I soldered them back on, it didn't make any difference. So I think it's just old age. 2006, it says on the circuit board on the controller. So it's 20 years old, and I'm afraid it is no more. I am very disappointed because this was one of my favourite little aeroplanes. But that's it. That's the end of it, I'm afraid. Hi guys. It's really too hot to do this, but I want to have a look at this. I've got a fan just beside me, so there's a hum in the background. This is my favourite little radio-controlled biplane, which you charge from the controller. And normally, when I plug it in, the green light should come on to indicate charging, and it's not. Now, I tried measuring the output voltage on the end of this little plug, and I can't get a measurement. So it may be that at some time the wire's been pulled and it may be disconnected inside. So we'll have a look. It's certainly not, the batteries are flat. In fact, at the moment I've got these rather nice ones in there that are lithium ion, that only output 1.5 volts. They've got little circuit boards in them. Just having a look to see if there's any screws. Yeah, 2 screws there. And 1 screw there. Okay. I don't think I've ever looked inside this one. I don't recall looking inside it. Yeah, it looks like we've got to undo these other screws. All the same size so far. There's always some that don't want to drop out. Right, let's have a look inside. Okay. That doesn't want to come apart. There's screws in the front. Is it one of these ones where you've got to unscrew that before you can get it apart? Okay, there we are. I'm not seeing loose wires there. Let's just zoom in a bit more. It is only those two tags there and those wires. Are they out of focus? They look okay. So I'll try measuring the voltage there. I'll put the batteries back in again. Right. That looks like a thermal fuse just there, which is handy. No voltage. Why am I getting no voltage there? Have I got a problem with my leads? Oh, that one's okay. Oh, I reckon they've got them in two. Do that again. I was going to say 2 banks of 3. That's 4.6. And yet I've got minus 3 volts there. Yeah, it looks like they're in 2 rows of 2 banks. 3 there and 3 there. Why? Okay. So from there to there, 4.5 volts. And there to there, 4.5 volts. Well, that's an interesting way of doing it. And then coming out of here, nothing. Still getting nothing. Is it one of these things that expects to see a resistance on it? before it puts any power out. I'm getting nowhere at the moment looking at this. I can't see anything obviously broken. I was really hoping that the wire going up to the socket there, plug there, was broken, but it's not. I've actually checked it for continuity end to end. It's fine. I've reread the instructions. Instruction says switch it off, switch it off. So we are off. Plug that in, switch it on, and the green light should come on. And it doesn't. Now it used to, right up until the day before yesterday. So something's happened in the last day or so that stopped it charging. What I think I'll do as a temporary measure is actually desolder these wires, connect them up to an ordinary connector that I can use an external charger from, and then try and charge the battery from an external charger. I have checked the connectors that I've got because I thought I had this size connector, but it's just a tiny bit different. So the connectors I've got won't fit. So I can't do a modification, external modification. We need that size plug. And the easiest way to get that size plug is to desolder it from here. So that's what I'll do. Yeah, these are the connectors that I've got, but they just don't quite fit. That's really annoying when they do that, make them just the wrong size. No, that just won't quite fit. So I'll desolder that. I'll connect it up to this one, or one like this. Yeah, maybe not this one. I'll find one that I've modified to give us a lower power output. These give you up to 1 amp, whereas I've got them modified to go down to 0.2 of an amp. So this is one of my little charger units that I've changed the resistor on to limit the output current. 12k resistor, which limits the output current to 100 milliamps instead of 1 amp. But I've got it connected through. When I plug it in, we should get a red light, and we're not. So it looks like it's not the controller that's the problem. So I've done all that, and it wasn't necessary. Oh, that's annoying. Well, in that case, taking me bits of tape off, have a look inside. Come on, out. It was a bit puffy. So maybe we've just got a dead battery. Don't know why it should suddenly have gone dead, unless maybe I left it powered up and it fully discharged. Okay, I'll have a look, see what I've got. This is all getting needlessly complicated. Right, I found a spare brand new LiPo battery that says 200 milliamp hour on it. It looks thinner and lighter than that one, which is the one I've just taken out, which is also 200 milliamp hour. That one had a battery protection circuit on it, which clearly didn't work, being as it seems to have over discharged, but I have reused it there rather than actually solder it in there. I put it up there, and then we will cover that with Captain tape, probably strap it straight on there out of the way, tuck it all back in again and see if it flies, because obviously that's going to upset the balance again. We just had this one flying nicely as well. And then I'll have to decide whether I want to leave that as an external charge or put that back into the original transmitter so we charge it off the batteries. We'll see. We'll see if this charges up first and whether it'll actually power the aeroplane. Oh, light's gone out now. Oh, that's probably because it wasn't drawing enough current, and that one switches off. Yeah, because I've limited that to just 100 milliamps. Well, we'll sort that out. We'll get that charging and see if it works. That's the one I've just taken off, and that's measuring 6 grams, weighing 6 grams. And the one that I put on there was 5 grams, so we are a little bit lighter, although I've added some Captain tape, so it might balance. I suspect it will be a bit tail heavy. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave us a comment so I know how I'm doing. And somewhere up here there'll be some links to related playlists. Thanks again.